Hey everybody, what's going on? Bahroo here, and today I have another episode of Keep or Toss. And today I wanted to talk to you all about amp shields. And we're going to go into that. Now, amp shields were something that was introduced in Borderlands 2, as well as a bunch of other different special types of shields, such as turtle shields, the adaptive shields, roid shields, booster shields, all these different special effects tied to the shields. And overall, I really do like them. However, there's been, as everyone knows, there's a lot of controversy around amp shields and more specifically, the bee. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. How all do you feel about the bee amp shields making a return in the pre-sequel? Now, for those who don't know, the bee is a very powerful Hyperion amp shield that was introduced in the vanilla game. And what it would allow you to do, basically, is take any gun and make it supremely powerful, because the bee is stronger than pretty much every single gun in the game, just by itself. And there was also an issue with multi-projectiles, where if you used it with a shotgun, you would get basically, you would get the amp on every single pellet. Obviously, that had to be nerfed for obvious reasons, but in addition, they tried to nerf the bee by making its recharge longer, and I feel like what they could have done is they should have either changed the bee, or maybe the bee should never have even made it into the game to begin with. I feel like they did a lot of balance changes around the bee, and this is not how it should have been done. It's very clear that a lot of bosses in the game are just so painful to try and take out without using the bee. Now, obviously, Salvador doesn't need the bee, but go try taking on Hyperion without a Norfleet or a bee, as, say, Maya. You're going to have an extremely difficult time killing them without running out of ammo. It's just, the classes just don't do the damage, and the bosses are balanced around this powerful item, whether people choose to believe that or not. It's just how it is. And obviously you don't need it in general play, because in general play you can basically go through everything. But you can see when I'm using this fire plasma caster, I'm basically one-shotting, or sometimes two-shotting any sort of enemy when the bee is up. And that's, without slag either. So how all do you feel about this? I feel like the bee could have been balanced in a different way. It should have been balanced around the fact that it has no drain. Let's say a perfect shield is, about 800 million. Or not 800 million, 800,000, I'm sorry. 800,000. The bee should have been somewhere around 300,000. And, it would be balanced around the fact that it didn't have any sort of drain. And it would have, just an average recharge or so. I would have also liked to see more unique amp shields. Only having one unique amp shield, I feel, kind of killed it. And I would like to see an amp shield that works in reverse. Something that has a very high, say, recharge, and you only got the amp when the shield was down rather than when it was full. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at amp shields in general. Now, this is what would be considered a perfect amp shield of a non-unique Hyperion amp. Now, as I said, it's about 800,000 extra damage, and you have to wait 2.57 seconds in between each shot. However, if we take a look at the bee, you'll notice it's 1.8 million amp, and it doesn't drain, so you can go one shot after the next. Yes, it does have a large recharge delay, but most classes have something that will allow them to drastically reduce that. I know Axton can bring that to almost 2 seconds, probably even lower than that. Maya with certain comms can lower it. Salvador obviously doesn't need it. And if we take a look at the weapon itself, weapons don't really have that much damage behind them when you compare how much damage the bee is adding to them. And this is where I feel like it kind of killed the balance, because a lot of people, use the bee with all of these items. Now, you can, like I said, you can clear certain things. You can do general mobbing no problem without the bee. But if you're going to go take on a raid boss as a class that's not Salvador, you're going to have an extremely difficult time, because bosses were, you know, scaled to the different, or was scaled to the bee. And hopefully that in the pre-sequel they won't make this same mistake. They'll balance the bee around it having no drain by, you know, let's say it'll have half the damage, or probably maybe even less than half of a normal Hyperion shield. Let me know, how do you feel about this? How should they have encountered the bee? Should they have just left it as is and just let everyone be supremely overpowered? I don't like that idea. I agree people should be overpowered, but not to the point where you're literally one-shotting Terramorphous with a basic shotgun, which is what it was on release. That, I feel, is too far to the overpowered. But at the same time, it shouldn't be to the point where you need to be using a bee to take on these powerful enemies. It shouldn't be done like that. And like I said, the amp shield working in reverse, they could have done a lot of different things with amp shields and make them more unique instead of just having the one unique shield. I mean, almost every other shield outside of Tediore has at least more than just one shield attached to it, and it works in, you know, different ways, and it could have expanded on the amp. But let me know how you all feel about this. Should they have nerfed the bee? Should they have kept it as is? Should they have changed it altogether? Maybe making it you know, a lower amp in general, compensating for that no amp drain? Or should they have just buffed basic Hyperion amps? That's another way to do it. Should they have just buffed those instead? But you let me know. Keep or toss Hyperion shields. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like button, and please leave your comment in the comment section below. I definitely like going through and reading all of these different things that you all have to say. And we'll just go ahead and take a quick look again at the bee, at the different weapons, and you'll just see the massive damage difference. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.